Hi everyone, I am going to explain you what was the Black Death, specifically in England around 1300s, and my name is Adriana Mena. What was the Black Death? The Black Death was a devastating global epidemic of bubonic plague that struck Europe and Asia in the mid 1300s, and the plague arrived in Europe around October of 1347, when 12 ships from the Black Sea docked at the Sicilian port of Messina. People gathered on the docks where they met a horrifying surprise. Most sailors aboard the ships were dead, and those still alive were gravely ill and covered in black boils that oozed blood and pus. Sicilian authorities hastily ordered the fleet of dead ships out of the harbor, but it was too late. Over the next 5 years, the Black Death would kill more than 20 million people in Europe, almost one-third of the continent's population. Where did it have the most impact? Europe suffered the most. By the end of 1348, Germany, France, England, Italy, and the Low Countries had all felt the plague. Norway was infected in 1349, and Eastern European countries began to fall victim during the early 1350s. But also China had the most severe outbreak of the plague. In the Chinese province of Hubei in 1334, they claimed they claimed to 80% of the population. China had already had several epidemics and famines from 1200 to 1350s, and its population decreased from an estimated 125 million to 65 million in the late 14th century. But why did the Black Death occur? Well, the plague is thought to have originated in Asia over 2,000 years ago and was likely spread by trading ships, though recent research has indicated the pathogen responsible for the Black Death may have existed in Europe as early as around 3,000 years ago before Christ. It is believed to have been the result of the plague, an infectious fever caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. The disease was likely transmitted from rodents to humans by the bite of infected fleas. What did the government do to stop the plague? In England, where we are focused on, the government tried to stop the plague by the implementation of quarantines. The uninfected would typically remain in their homes and only leave when it was necessary. This is very similar to what we have seen in the last year because of the pandemic of coronavirus or COVID-19. And that time, the others who could afford to do so will leave the more densely populated areas and live in greater isolation. How was the daily life for the population during the plague? Daily life during the Black Death was anything but normal. During the 3.5 centuries that constituted the second pandemic of bubonic plague, Europeans were regularly assaulted by epidemics that mowed them down like a reverse scythe. When a plague hit a community, every aspect of the life was turned upside down, from relations within families to its social, political, and economic structure. The theaters were empty, graveyards filled, and the streets were ruled by terrible corpse bearers whose wagons of death rumbled night and day. Plague time elicited the most heroic and inhuman behavior imaginable, and yet Western civilization survived to undergo the Renaissance, Reformation, Scientific Revolution, and early Enlightenment. The Black Death. To resume all of what I have already said, the Black Death was an infamous plague causing an estimated 20 million deaths in Europe. its spread and impact are disputed, but it does give an insight into a medieval way of life. England was one of the countries that the plague had a great impact on. The Black Death affected the way people thought about life in many different ways. Some lived lives perceived to be wild or immoral. Others fell into deep despair, whilst many chose to accept their fate. Thank you for watching.